Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. You guys, Put a Ring on It is back and I'm excited. This is the only show that I've been covering from season 1 up until now. So this is kind of like my little baby, okay? So Put a Ring on It season 4 episode 1. I'm here for it. I feel like Dr. Stacy is definitely what this show needs. And like I told y'all in my deep dive, she's definitely going to give it to them real, okay? And accountability is her thing. I told y'all this. I told y'all this. I told y'all this. So I'm excited because we not sugarcoating nothing over here, baby. Nothing. But before we get into this review, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you are new here, sit back, relax, and watch the video on through. And if you like what you see and you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button and join the family. If you are one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? So let's go ahead and get into it. So we got 3 new couples and a new doctor, okay? So when all the couples come in, Dr. Stacy's sitting there and she's like, I know what you're thinking. I'm not the doctor you were expecting. And I'm like, I know they wasn't. They thought they was going to get nice, sweet old Dr. Nicole. But joke's on them because they thought they was about to come play in your face, Dr. Stacy. They definitely did. So she gives us a little background on her. But if you guys want to really get to know Dr. Stacy, check out my deep dive on who is Dr. Stacy. It's probably a couple of videos back. You can't miss it. It's her face sitting right there. Go check it out, okay? She told them she's there to help them find a healthy, happy, romantic relationship. And although she may do things a little different, her goal is still the same. And that is to help them decide whether or not they want to put a ring on it. She gives us a little background on her, and these are things that I didn't even know, and I'm just saying here like, I love Dr. Stacy, I swear I do. She told them about her mother, her grandmother, her father. She told them that her mother was married 5 times, and she died at the age of 56 while going through a divorce. Whew. But the one thing that stood out to her is that she said her mom was on her deathbed, and she told her that more than anything, she wanted her to know that love works. And so for Dr. Stacy, she takes this very personal and she wants our community to see Black love. And she wants to see Black love make it. And I am here for that. With the whole gender wars that we're going through now, with the men versus the women and the women versus the men, and we don't need a man for nothing and we don't need women, I am happy that we are still striving for Black love. She lets them know that there is no frustration, no tear, nothing that they will feel that she has not experienced already. I like Dr. Stacy. She's so relatable. And like just after hearing her talk, I really feel like this is her thing. Like she's going to help these people and she's going to keep it real with them. And I don't feel like she's trying to put on the show. It just seems like this is her thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So let's get into meeting these couples. Chance and Dunbar. They've been dating for a year. He used to play in the NFL. On their first date, he ended up having to carry her to the hospital because she was having stomach pains and she had to get her appendix removed. Cute love story. I think after hearing that, I'm just like, oh, you could tell he really loves her and he cares for her. He says the one thing that he wish she would work on is being more domestic. She doesn't disagree. So if she wants to be more domestic, then I'm here for it. But if she was one of the ones that was like, nah, I don't want to be that type of wife, then I'll be like, why are you here? It always confuses me when people go be with people who are totally opposite from what they want and then try to change them, because that's essentially what's happening. He wants her to rub his feet, clean his clothes, wash the dishes, feed him, all these things. And I'm exhausted just listening to him say it, okay? The reason why she hasn't decided to marry him yet is because she doesn't know if she can handle the role of being his wife, especially a domestic wife. He says that she has the potential and he's going to push her to it. Child, I'm saying here like, what is happening? What is happening? When he told Dr. Stacy that, you know, he's missing the smell, like the candles and things like that. She's like, I do rub your feet. I do like the candles. I do all of this. He was like, yeah, but you don't do it when I want it. And I'm sitting here like, hold up. So she's doing the things that you want, but because she's not doing it exactly when you want it, it's not good enough. Dr. Stacy was like, you want me to tell you what I think and you want me to be honest? I was hoping she told him that he sounded like a fool. That's what I was hoping. But did she do that? No. She said it sounds like you want one thing and she wants another thing. And you guys have to figure out how to merge the two together. I said that's a nice way to put it. Nice way to put it. Because in my mind, I'm just thinking like, you sound crazy, sir. You sound crazy. But then again, I'm not that type of woman. And if that's the woman that Chance wants to be, who am I to go against it? We meet Joya and Jashaya. So we meet Joya and Jashaya. Chat, I probably said his name wrong. I promise you guys I'll get it right by the end of this season. And I'm sure you guys are already in the comments correcting me, okay? So they've been together for 2 years. They do yoga together. They do a lot of traveling. She thinks that they should be married by now. But he says he's not really ready for all of that just yet. She gets really emotional because she starts talking about how the fact that she wants kids and kids are not negotiable for her. It's not something that she's willing to throw out the window all because, you know, he's not ready for it right now. And she's starting to realize that if he doesn't really want these kids, that he just may not be the person for her. After they introduced themselves, Dr. Stacey was like, look at me, Julia, look at me. Don't even worry about him. If you had it your way, when would you like to be married and have kids? She said, I would love to start working on kids by the end of next year. And I'm like, that's not even like around the corner. You got mad time, sir, to get it together. Either you want these kids or you don't. Because like she said, that's pushing her into her 40s. And y'all know it's hard to have babies up in them 40s. When Dr. Stacey asked Jasha how he felt about it, he was just sitting there like, he didn't even have an answer. She was like, you know what? We'll come back to it. We'll put a pin in it. And I'm just like, come on, you've been with this woman for all this time. You guys have spent all this much, you guys have spent this much time together. Just tell her what it is. Either you want these kids or you don't. So you're not wasting any more of her time. I kind of felt a little bit bad for her because she has what she would consider the perfect man. And it's just this one little thing, this family that he's not trying to build with her. So then we meet Catherine and Ricky. Ricky, why we got these braids in our hair? I feel like at a certain age, we need to just let the braids go if they not already at the length they need to be at. Because it's making you look childish. It's just making you look childish. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say it once and I'm going to let it go, okay? So they knew each other for over 10 years. They kind of dated. Then they were separated because they was living long distance when her mom got sick. So now they've been dating a little bit over a year together, living together. They're reunited and it feels so good. Or not. So he's been married before and he felt miserably. So he's kind of scared to jump into another marriage. She says that they're suffering in the romantic department. And I'm like, what that mean? Like y'all not having sex? He not romancing you? Why are we talking about marriage if we can't even get romance down? Priorities, people, priorities. Because now you're going to go into a marriage still having these romantic issues. And then it's going to be even worse. So those are our couples. Y'all do with it what you want. Okay. Dr. Stacey tells them that of course they already know what this process is. They are here to date other people so they can really figure out if what they have is what they want. Or maybe they want something different, but we're going to find out through this process. She lets them know that the women are going first this week. And not only are they going first with their dates, they're starting today. Like as soon as y'all go home, start getting dressed to go on your dates. And that's what they did. The first person we get to see is Dumar and Chance. Chance is taking Dumar's food out the microwave because, of course, she got to feed her man before he leaves. And, you know, he sits down. He tells her he wants to talk about boundaries. We got to talk about boundaries. She's like, you can trust me. You can trust me. I'll be right back. Don't worry. I'm coming home. I was like, I don't know why we want to have these conversations about boundaries as if they really matter or put a ring on it anyway. Because as we know, somebody always breaking the boundaries. Literally. Someone all the time is breaking all the boundaries. So Chance's date is Phil. He's 23. He says he has a good job. And any woman that he picked will be blessed to have him. Child, as soon as that daggone Phil got in the house, Dumar started acting a whole freaking mess. He's looking at this man's shoes, talking about some, I don't like trash in my house. I'm like, ooh, he aggravating me. He tells him like, this is my future wife right here. Just make sure you treat her with respect. Now, I can understand that part, and I definitely understand the fact that he wants him to know, like, just respect her. Cool. But then he sits down and he starts asking him questions about his father and his mother and stuff like that. And I'm like, sir, who is you? You not going on a date with him. He's not trying to get to know you. What are we doing here? Not only that, then he's talking about his jeans like you got the little skinny jeans on, but I could respect it because at least you got them around your waist. So it could be me. because I would have wanted to fight Demar at one point. So in the midst of all this, he's like gonna help her put her shoes on to get ready to leave and whatnot. Then he like, let's say a prayer. Let's say a prayer. He told her to put his hands on his heart. She comes up behind him, put her hands like this on his chest while he's holding hands with the man and praying. But y'all, not only is he praying, he is threatening the man in a prayer. He told him that with these hands that they pray with could be the same hands that he blessed his ass with. I'm sitting here like, not the threats to the prayer. Jesus didn't hear it, sir. He didn't receive the prayer. The prayer was not received. And you're lucky that Phil didn't decide to take the opportunities to whoop your behind in your house. Child, you gotta have a lot of patience. Because what he did was way beyond me. And then you have the nerve to tell that man to bring him back some food. Who? Ooh, child, my blood pressure was raised just a little bit because I was like, ain't no way I could deal with that. Like, I understand there's a premise of the show when people going to start acting weird and whatnot, but a part of me would have just been ready to turn up. Turn up. Y'all know how the dates go sometimes when the people get ready to turn up. That would have been me. Definitely. So Joy is getting ready for her date, and she's talking to Josiah like, is there anything that you don't want me to do? Like, what's the boundaries? He's like, I feel like there's no boundaries. Just let it go, flow. Just go with the flow. Let it be natural. Like, just like how me and you are. And I'm like, that's how you're going to have to be. Because when you start putting all these stimulations on the process, then the process don't really work the way it's supposed to. You don't have to set boundaries with someone that you're in a relationship with. You know what you're supposed to do and not do. I don't have to run it by you what I'm supposed to do and not do. If you don't want it done to you, then you don't do it to him. It's that simple. It really is. So then we meet her day, of course, and y'all, I'm just really not impressed by these people, and I'm not really taking my time out to really break them down to y'all because, like, they probably won't be here next round, and I'm not about to waste my time on all these notes. But anyway, he said that Joya's man is the chicken of the sea, and he's the lobster. Ha ha, funny, ha ha, ha. He said he's missing still your girl. Child, get out of here. Not the Trey Songz line, child. Y'all know what they say about that. But anyway, let's keep going. So Catherine's getting ready for her date with Mark, the IT recruiter. So why does Rick take this opportunity to tell Mark that he hasn't taken his girl on a date in a long time, so he's happy that she could get out? I said, child, like, what? What? So you knew that y'all was coming on this show to date other people, and you didn't even think to like at least take her out one good time and, you know, let her remember why y'all in love anyway. But not only that, you had the nerve to tell the man that she's going on a date with now to show her a good time because you ain't take her out in a long time. Okay, sir. Makes sense to me, I guess. I don't know, okay? Mark comes in there with the flowers. He's like, when's the last time you had flowers? She was like, Valentine's. He was like, wow. I'm like, yeah, they all do that in the beginning. And then you get with him and he ain't give you no flowers to Valentine's Day. Child, it's the game. It's the game for me. It's definitely the game for me. When Chance and Phil are, you know, walking into the restaurant, he's trying to hold her hand. She won't even let him hold her hands. They're sitting down. They're having really fun conversation. It was an easy flow. It was like a lot of jokes and stuff like that. It was real friendly. I don't think it was any like romantic chemistry, anything outside of friend zone, basically. But their conversation was really annoying me. I just don't know why. I was just annoyed watching it. I just really was. She did open up a little bit with him, talking about losing her mother and, you know, how it's important to have a great man in your life, and you know how her father is there and how she's thankful for Delmar. And he was like, let me ask you, like, is he really like this consistent? Is he really like this guy that put on your shoes and stuff like that? And she was like, yeah, like this is really what he do. You will have really big shoes to fill. So then I started thinking to myself, like, okay, I guess that he's not only asking for these things, but he's also reciprocating them. So I guess in that sense, then it makes sense to be with someone where you're both giving and receiving. So I think that's probably why he asked for those things, because he's that type of man. Now that she said that this is really who he is and how he's consistent with doing it, I'm just going to say that maybe he wasn't doing too much, because I was sitting there like, sir, you're doing way too much. Now, you know you don't be putting on that girl's shoes, but apparently he do. Well, she said he do. So Catherine and Mark are out, and for some reason, I feel like they actually have like really good chemistry. They seem to be getting along really well. Come to find out, he's been married before, but he's also not scared to get married again. He's been to therapy, so he's like really got his head on together, and he's really ready to experience, I guess, this new dating world and whatnot. He feels like he's getting a second date, and I feel like he might be getting a second date, but then the preview showed her on a date with someone else, so probably not. Probably not. Even though the date was ultimately really good to me, I guess it was something we didn't see. So then Joya and her date, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, because only thing I could think about when I saw this man was same old G, like a bootleg Genuine. The older bootleg Genuine, not the younger bootleg Genuine, but the older version. And I'm just like, ooh, it's something about him that's really bothering me. He was definitely bothering me, okay? They're sitting down talking, and he mentions like he want to take her on a nice little picnic, and she gets excited because she always wanted to go on a picnic. They're having cute little chemistry. He has something on his lips. She goes to wipe it off with the paper towel. He takes her hands and give it a cute little kiss. I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. This is kind of cute. Come to find out that Joya already has a son who's 11 years old. I was like, the way she was acting, you would have thought she didn't have any kids, the way she made it seem like she needs to have kids. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here, so like, what does Jasha means when he keeps saying like he wants to continue traveling and stuff? Are we leaving the 11-year-old at home? We not taking him? Like, what's the dynamic of this family? That's what I'm starting to wonder now. So now that all the dates are over, I really can't believe that Phil brought Domar food back. Like, I would have been, I'm just like, yeah, no, absolutely no. And he's like, see your way out, like close the door behind you. It's attitude for me. It's just like, it's nasty for no reason. Joya tells Josiah that she did end up wiping, crumbs off of his face, and he kissed her hand, and now they're going back and forth because he said, so you wipe stuff off his face, that's nurturing. And she like, no, I mean, if someone did that to you, it won't be a big deal. And he was like, so if I kiss somebody's hand, then what? She was like, no, but you're not a single man. He's a single man. Now they're going back and forth over kissing people in the hand. Child, I'm so happy that that's not my husband type of thing. But honestly, I just feel like anything that you wouldn't want done is something that you shouldn't let be done. So in his defense, if you don't want him to go kiss somebody else's hand, then maybe you shouldn't get your hand kissed. But hey, I think it's innocent, and they were on a little date, so I don't see what the big issue is, but they going back and forth anyway. So of course, all the couples come back and meet with Dr. Stacy, and Dr. Stacy is like, I want to know what happened. I want all the details. Fill me in, and we're going to start with Chance, okay? Chance is telling her about, how her date came to the house and they said a prayer and how he threatened him in the prayer. And I'm sitting here like, girl, you saying this like this is a big brag. Dr. Stacy was like, what? You do know that that's not your daughter and you're not her dad, right? You don't see anything wrong with what you did? And he's like, no. She was like, you're being controlling. He's like, I'm not being controlling. I'm not. And yes, you are. Everyone's sitting around telling them that he's being controlling. So then Dr. Stacy told us, so when you was released from your father, what else happened? I said, not the shade. Not being released from your father's care, Chance. What else happened on that date? Chance told Dr. Stacy that she feels like, he was just immature and things of that nature. And he even brought food back to Dunbar and whatnot. And Dr. Stacy was like, why are you controlling this narrative? Because you put this in her head that, you sunned him as soon as he walked in the house. So now she has this idea that he's immature. And he's like, I didn't do that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So Dr. Stacy asked Chance, she says, do you think he's controlling? She was like, no, I think he was being respectful because he came into his house and he's a king. Dr. Stacy said, well, I never seen a king disrespect another king. I'm sitting here like y'all deserve each other because if you think the way he handled that man was a big flex, something's wrong. It shows a lot of insecurities and it shows that he's trying to dominate you and him. And that's exactly what he did because you walked out that house. You had this image in your head that this man was already a child because you let him sit there and disrespect him. How many times has we seen these couples, like, the dates come in the house and like, no, you're doing too much. Let's just go. You sat down and you thought this was cute. Dr. Stacy was like, if you're not going to do the process the way the process is going to be done, stop playing with it. Let's keep it 100. Do you want to be married 5 times? I said, child, It's Dr. Stacy for me. It's definitely Dr. Stacy for me. Because I was just sitting here like, yeah, she not going to let them play. She not going to let them play because what he did was unacceptable to the process. You got this man bringing you back some food, you saying prayers and you threatening him and all this other stuff, and she sat there and allowed it, then came home and was like, oh, you ready to go to the bedroom already, while the man is still there. Like, we already know that's your man. But y'all was disrespectful all the way around the board, completely. And that man was nothing but respectful and nice to both of y'all. And the way that y'all played in his face, But y'all, we're going to get into the rest of it, episode 2, next week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, meet me back here, like the video, comment down below, drop me some yellow hearts, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.